friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Alyssa Harris. I'm a vocalist, I'm a vocal coach, and an educator, just coming on here with a couple of tips and tricks for all of my fellow singers and performers out there. Now, if you're new here, make sure you like the video and subscribe, because I post all kinds of resources and information for all my singers out there, no matter what stage you are in this journey. If you're just getting started, if you're an aspiring singer or performer, or if you're already deep and established into your career, I think you'll find something that you can use on this channel. Now, today we're going to be talking again about money, but not just about money. Specifically, we're going to be talking about our expenses. What expenses do we have as performers? What are some of the costs associated with investing in our career as performers? Now, as we all know, it takes money to make money, right? As an artist, specifically an independent artist who is raising money, saving money, investing money, crowdfunding, there are a lot of things to pay for. Now, in today's video, I'm going to talk about what exactly those expenses are in general, but I'm also going to be talking about what those expenses are for me, and I'm going to give you some amounts and figures as an example. The purpose of this video is to give you guys an idea of what kind of money it takes to be a professional performer. As we all know, when you get to a certain point in your performance career, it's very lucrative. The earning potential as an artist is very, very great. You can do really well, you can make an excellent living. But on the other end of that, there is a lot of investment money-wise that goes into getting to that point. So in today's video, that's kind of what I want to talk about. And as I said, we'll be talking about my investment and my expenses specifically, so that you can get a better idea. Now, this is going to be another podcast style video. So get comfortable, relax, grab a drink, grab your water, put on your headphones, and let's just jump right in. Okay, so one of the biggest things I'd say, especially for my lady performers out there, it's going to be hair, makeup, clothes, shoes, costumes, apparel, etc. That's going to be a big one. It's a big one for me. I know it's a big one for the ladies out there. I mean, it's just inevitable. We need certain things for our shows and performances. We need new clothes, okay? We need dresses, we need shoes, we need cute things. Not to mention, we have to replace and fix things constantly, because the things that we wear on stage, they're gonna wear out a lot more quickly because we're performing in them. They're not necessarily meant to be performed in. A lot of the things, like shoes, a lot of my shoes wear out very quickly. And so I always have to replace them. And of course, that's an additional cost. Of course, in some cases, you're going to work for companies that will provide your costumes or provide what they want you to wear, but that's not always the case. And 10 times out of 10, you're going to be supplying your own clothes for auditions, for, interviews, or different things that you need to do, that you need to look presentable for. You're going to have a wardrobe that is a dress to impress, right? And so that's going to be something to invest in. I don't usually spend exorbitant amounts of money on clothes or shoes. I usually try to find things at a decent price. I don't shop at department stores for certain things, but I just try to be smart about where I shop. A lot of the things are things that I want, of course, or it's like a preference. Oh, I want this dress, or I want these shoes. But a lot of times it's necessary. Like, these things are inevitable. They're items that need to be bought. As of lately, though, I have been trying to cut back on buying new things. I always try to have like new makeup or new outfits or new hair, new different things when I don't necessarily need it. So I am guilty of that. So I'm trying to do better at reusing things and trying to take care of my things for as long as possible, taking things to the cleaners, fixing things like mending or sewing things myself, just so that I can continue to use them over and over again. When I was younger and just getting started, I was like, oh, I need all these different looks. And now I'm just kind of like, I don't need that. I just need to find a handful of core signature pieces that work for me. And that's a way that I can kind of like save money. So I would say, I spend a couple $100, maybe every 6 months. I would say I spend like $400 to $500 on apparel total. But that number's going down. I'm trying to be better, and that can range just depending on your habits, where you shop. Overall, in general, just know that clothing is going to cost money. It's going to be an investment, and you're going to want something that, as I said, is nice, looks good, is good quality, and something that you can use over and over again for a long amount of time. So the second thing I want to talk about is training. And training might be something that you paid for before you became a working performer, or it may be something that you do as an ongoing thing. But training and education is very important, therefore it can be very expensive. So that may have been completing an arts program in college, for example, or that may mean continuing to take voice lessons, dance, acting lessons, etc., which we know private lessons can be very, very pricey. Going to college, as we know, can cost thousands of dollars per year, and some private arts programs can be even worse. And also, in addition to private lessons, which are upwards of $80 to $100 per session sometimes, there are also courses, master classes, workshops, and those things can be incredibly expensive, even though they may be worth it. Now, your training and your education as a performer is priceless. I would never discourage someone from getting an education or getting more knowledge or more background or strengthening their craft in any way. Just because I think it's really important no matter what stage that you're at. I don't think anyone is above learning new things. We can all be better, and we can all continue to learn and improve our skills and improve our craft. So this is definitely a necessary evil. This is a necessary expense. You can do a considerable amount of self-teaching as well. I know personally, in my experience, I did go to college and I paid for it. Of course, I have some grants, some scholarships, but I definitely took out some loans and I paid out of pocket for college. But I did not go to college for arts and performance per se, like to get a degree in arts and performance. I did a lot of participation in arts, theater, dance, etc. when I was in college, but it wasn't a part of my program. A lot of the things that I learned was self-taught, and I also learned a lot on the job. But I definitely have been in voice lessons, in dance classes, in acting classes. I've done that throughout the years, and I have paid for it out of pocket as well. It's not cheap. Dance classes can be upwards of like $25 a class. Voice lessons, again, are like $80 to $100 per lesson. And so that's something, I don't do it all the time, but every now and then it is nice to keep those skills sharp. So I try to take voice lessons maybe a couple times in a quarter. Just to stay sharp. All right, number 3 on this list is marketing materials. So this category is broad, but it's basically anything that boosts your visibility or boosts your promotion as an artist or a performer. This can be anything from headshots, promo material, a website, putting out ads on social media, paying to have your social media verified or boosted in the algorithm. For example, I produced 2 promotional performance reels last year. Both reels ended up being about 2 minutes each, but I paid about $2,000 total when it was all said and done, when it came to editing and time in the studio and engineers and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's annoying, but it's really another very necessary evil. If you're doing something to push your music or push yourself as an artist without a record label or a big machine behind you, this is something that you're going to be responsible for raising money for, or investing in throughout your career. So for example, I have a website that I don't pay a lot for it. It's like less than $20 a month for my website, but it's a great marketing material, promotional material tool to have, because when potential bookers or potential people who are looking at me, potentially could give me an opportunity, it's just a nice professional way of promoting myself, and they can go on my website and they see the whole portfolio of who I am, what I do, and it's all in one place. But of course, having that, maintaining it, keeping it up to date, that costs money as well. Getting professional headshots done or getting photo shoots, that can cost over $300, $400 around there. That's about the average that I usually pay for photo shoots. I don't like to skimp on that just because the quality is what's really going to pay off. You want to put money into something that you know is going to make you money. Also, I want to add to marketing materials is merchandise. So when I play my shows, a lot of times I'll sell merchandise on the cruise ships. It's like CDs, t-shirts, stickers, like stuff like that. And of course, that costs money to buy up front. You've got to buy all the merch, all the souvenirs, all the little trinkets up front, and then attempt to make a profit out of that. And that's another thing that it's a great marketing material, because if someone sees your sticker, if someone sees someone wearing your t-shirt, that's a great way to get eyes on you. So that's another marketing material that you would expect to pay for as an artist. The next expense I want to talk about are agency fees and memberships. I'm going to lump these two things together because I feel like these are both expenses that help you as an artist, and they go back into your best interest. Like, they pour back into you as an artist. For example, my agent does a great job at finding me gigs, negotiating contracts for me, and making sure that everything is up to par for me to perform for different venues or different events. And I don't have to go back and forth with anyone. My agent is the middleman, and for that, I pay them 15%. Similarly, union memberships make it so that the contracts are fair to artists and that an employer doesn't try to take advantage of you. To be a part of a union, you do have to pay dues as well as an initiation fee, and sometimes that's where they get you. So for example, I'm a part of Actors Equity, and I was a part of AGVA, which costs, as of now, about $90 per quarter plus an initiation fee. One of the great things I love about being part of the Actors Equity Association is that they're able to list auditions for members, and you can attend them by appointment, and so you don't have to wait in line at auditions, which is such a lifesaver for me, especially when I moved to NYC. That's another expense to pay for. That's one that I pay for, but it's definitely a helpful and beneficial one. Lastly, a big expense for performers is services. So for example, that would be hiring musicians. So if you have a show or a concert and you need musicians, you need to put aside a budget to pay for people. So for example, in Austin, I believe the minimum is like $50 per musician per hour. I definitely pay more. I pay my musicians way more than that, but that's the general standard of pay for musicians in Austin, Texas. Of course, it's going to vary throughout different states and different music scenes, different environments, and of course it's going to depend on your budget too, because if you have a big budget, you can pay your musicians more. I like to pay my musicians as much as I can, just because I know we're all in there working. So I just think that that's fair to make sure that people are paid well. But yeah, paying musicians is a big one. If you've got to pay sound people, sound techs, light techs, audio, video, videographers, photographers, arrangers, people to put together your charts, your music charts, people to edit your promotional videos. That can cost like $500 to $1,000 per session. All of these will vary from project to project, but there are so many random and just miscellaneous services that I have paid for. Sometimes you do have to hire people to help you with certain aspects of the performance or of the show, and some of those things that I named: photographers, videographers, editors, etc. And those are all people that you want to have on a team to help you reach your goals. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Let me know what you thought about it in the comment section. What are some of the things that you spend money on? What are some of your core expenses as a performer? And if you're a singer or a performer looking for resources, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Everything you can find on my website, all of that information is going to be in the description box. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in the next video.